I had a thought today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
And my thought is, which villain, okay, or perhaps different character, but I'm going to try and keep it in the lane of villain here, all right?
Okay.
If you were a superhero, would you just get the most joy out of just smoking, vanquishing them? So put yourselves in a hero's shoes. You have this adversary that is just pestering, beating the heck out of you, giving you more trouble than you ever thought was possible. Which would you get the most satisfaction out of? I got him. I beat him down. It's over. And along with that, therefore, which hero would you be, right? Because that's really a two-part question. Which hero would you be, and which villain would you just smoke?
Okay, so here's a question. Is this out of...
Yep, flesh it out.
Is this out of feeling, like... Or is this out of, like, competition? So, like, they're a very, like...
This
good
is a very emotional response. So, for example, I would never pick myself as a particular MCU hero to defeat or vanquish Thanos, right? Like, he's a great villain. He's an outstanding villain, but I wouldn't find any, like, emotional satisfaction over taking that son of a gun down.
Okay, so I have two takes then.
Great.
Okay, so first one that I would just find pure enjoyment out.
Yep.
Beating the Batman, okay,
Yep.
and
Yep.
fighting somebody along the lines of, like, the Polka Dot Man or the Condiment King, because they're just stupid and ridiculous, and, like, beating...
Just weed them out.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
Beating them senseless, in the like, all his polka dots are gone when I'm done. Like, that just seems really satisfying
Vanilla
to
Man.
me. Because it's as Batman, you go in there, you're like, well, I know I'm going to win this. Right? Like, you see him and you're like, this guy's going to go down.
Sure.
His name is Crazy Quilt. He's going down. This is going to be easy peasy. I could have sent...
It's upsetting that it's real, right? It's upsetting that this quote-unquote villain even exists.
Yeah.
It's just like, time out. This is wrong.
This is what
wrong
you
on every
chose to
level.
be?
Yep.
So for me, it would be like,
No.
oh, that'd be so satisfying. It'd be like, because it's out of annoyance. Like, you're
I get that.
You're squashing a
Right.
bug, a mosquito that's been, like, sucking the blood out of your life.
Nobody likes mosquitoes. Everybody can relate to that, taking a mosquito down.
And you're like, oh, my friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
But from, like, an emotional, like, crazy level, probably Spider-Man, Green Goblin.
That's a great answer.
Green
Yes.
Goblin was, like, the perfect, like, emotional tie to Spider-Man.
Yep.
Like,
The amount of damage he has inflicted upon Spider-Man, and
In
not
his
just
personal
physically,
life?
right? Personally, yeah,
right?
no question.
So,
That was my answer as well. That's my answer as well. I think a close second, honestly, and this is more comic related than movie related, would probably be Thor. Like, I would be Thor and just taking Loki out.
right.
Because in the comics, like, I delight in what the movies have done where they've made Loki more of an anti-hero. That's great. It's been worthwhile. I've enjoyed that path for him in the movies and his subsequent TV show. In the comics, he's just a turd.
He's a dick.
He's
a dick.
Pest. Mosquito's the great analogy for it. So just to squish that mosquito and just be like, you know what? Someone else. Anybody but this guy, right? Anybody but this guy who's waving the same flag of, well, I'm smarter than Thor. I deserve to be king. All this insecure nonsense. If I was Thor, I would just take great delight in taking Mjolnir, squishing the bug, and being like, let's just move on. Come on. Give me someone new. Enough of this.
Right.
Enough of this.
Because it can't be a villain that, like, for instance, it would never be the Joker.
No.
Because you lose. Even when you win, you lose. So you can't have a guy like that.
Yep.
So it's just like, yeah, a Green Goblin by far.
Right, the Joker wants, in a weird, twisted way, wants Batman to break that rule, to go too far, so you don't really win. Yeah.
Although 9 times out of 10, like, his rogues gallery would probably be very satisfying. Like the Riddler being like, oh, yep. You don't have to tell me another riddle.
Yep.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Clue Master, oh, here's a clue. Go to prison.
Yeah. Yeah. If you can tell, I've been a little angsty, and so that's where this thought kind of
Hey,
just came up like, who could I just squish? I just need to squish something right now. Just need
hey,
to
you've been angsty. I've been angsty too. It's okay.
let the angst flow.
I've been angsty too.